Welcome to the disordered and chemistry-charged first season of Elemental Survivor. We would like to dedicate this video to Sodium, where, in a shocking turn of events, he fell off the boat into the water and exploded on the boat ride to the island.
3 tribes, 12 elements, 1 periodic island. Who will bond? Who will react? Who will combust under pressure? Who will take home the grand prize of 1 million electrons?
Our 12 elements have been randomly split up into 3 tribes. In these tribes, they will fight to survive and compete in competitions with each other for immunity. Each week, the tribe who loses the competition will be sent to the Elemental Council, where they will be forced to vote out a member of their tribe. Let's meet our tribes.
Tribe number 1, the chemical experiments. C, carbon, atomic number 6, the backbone. N, nitrogen, atomic number 7, the explosive one. Ne, neon, atomic number 10, the bright one. P, phosphorus, atomic number 15, the rebel.
Tribe number 2, the Bunsen burners. Be, beryllium, atomic number 4, silent but deadly. O, oxygen, atomic number 8, the fan favorite. Si, silicon, atomic number 14, a real sharp guy. Cl, chlorine, atomic number 17, wanted to be with sodium.
Tribe number 3, the lab coats. Li, lithium, atomic number 3, a reactive rager. F, fluorine, atomic number 9, the beast. Al, aluminum, atomic number 13, the exception. S, sulfur, atomic number 16, the spark. The first challenge is the titration trial. Each tribe must complete a perfect titration. 1 drop too far, and it's curtains. The chemical experiments dominate. Carbon coordinates, phosphor stirs, nitrogen calculates molarity like a boss. They're first to finish, no sweat. Lab coats, chaos. Fluorine tries to dominate. The others resist until she grabs the pipette, shrieks, "I got this," and single-handedly performs a titration so perfect the pH meter blushed. They're safe. But the Bunsen burners, total meltdown. Chlorine is off sobbing in the corner over sodium's tragic explosion. Beryllium tries to lead but misreads the burette. They fail to complete the titration and are heading to the Elemental Council.
As the Bunsen burners gather around the flames of fate, chlorine is still crying. Na was my best friend. I just wanted to make salt. Be and Si share a meaningful glance. They realize fire needs oxygen. Survival needs focus. Together, they vote. It's unanimous. Chlorine is eliminated. He leaves behind a single tear and a faint sense of pool water. As chlorine drifts off on his lonely raft, he looks back and whispers, "For Na." The next few weeks, typical Survivor shenanigans occur. After week 1, Oxygen and Silicon form their Fire Bros alliance, unbeknownst to Beryllium, who just sits back after blowing the titration. The chemical experiments continue to be a strong tribe, while the lab coats are starting to get sick of F's overconfidence.
On week 2 of Elemental Survivor, the challenge is called Orbital Overload. The challenge is to fill your tribe's orbital, not literally, no electron casualties here. Tribes must work together to organize a chaotic set of electrons into a stable orbital configuration using speed, accuracy, and teamwork. The goal: build a complete electron configuration before the other teams. Over in Bunsen burners and lab coats, the team keeps a cool head and shells out a nearly flawless configuration, finishing strong. But in chemical experiments, chaos reigns. Phosphorus insists on a new strategy involving skipping orbitals. It backfires, and the tribe ends up with half-filled D sublevel and fully charged tempers. They're off to the Elemental Council.
After a heated debate over who doesn't understand Aufbau, Phosphorus gets ionized, voted out of the tribe.
Week 3's challenge is called the Balancing Act, where tribes will have to balance 10 tough chemical equations. Fastest tribe wins, the slowest is out. It's a tense battle. Equations are flying, calculations are off. In the end, the Bunsen burners finish dead last again. To Silicon, the vote is obvious. Get rid of quiet beryllium, but Oxygen has other plans. He's realized he doesn't need silicon to make fire, And with the tribes being merged in 2 weeks, he's thinking ahead and realizes beryllium is easy competition. He flips on the Fire Bros Alliance. Silicon is blindsided and voted out.
It's the final tribal week before the merge, and the pressure is on. This week's challenge is the Flame Test, a dazzling display of elemental brilliance where each contestant must reveal their true colors in a burst of flames. The lab coats hold a secret meeting beforehand, minus one member, Florine. Her tribe sees her as a looming threat, too smart, too strong, and a dangerous wildcard in the post-merge game. A plan is hatched to throw the challenge and vote her out. But not everyone can play it cool. Lithium accidentally ignites a mega magenta flame, sealing a dramatic victory for the lab coats and saving Florine. Meanwhile, over on the opposing tribe, the chemical experiments, tensions rise. Neon shines bright, but maybe too bright. While his glow stuns the crowd, he fails to become excited. His performance crashes, and his over-the-top flare has worn thin. Carbon and Nitrogen, forming a quiet alliance, decide it's time to dim Neon's spotlight. In the end, Neon is voting out.
Now the tribes merge into one compound. Here are the remaining contestants: carbon, nitrogen, beryllium, oxygen, lithium, fluorine, aluminum, sulfur. Only one element will remain stable enough to win it all. When the tribes come together, pre-tribal rivalries persist. Fluorine gets a little too electronegative over her tribe, attempting to throw the challenge, and starts clashing with her would-be savior, Lithium. Unfortunately for them, they collide with the proper energy and orientation and form a strong ionic bond. Now tightly bound in an electrostatic embrace, they have to be airlifted out, literally. Their only hope now is to absorb enough energy to overcome their bond and separate, but they are gone from the game.
With only 6 contestants left, the competition is heating up. The next challenge is called Periodic Trend Tower, which tasks contestants with 3 separate stacks of blocks. Each stack must be arranged in the correct order based on a different periodic trend, increasing atomic radius, increasing electronegativity, and increasing first ionization energy. The last 2 to complete their stacks correctly will be up for elimination. Beryllium, who has quietly memorized the entire periodic table, dominates the challenge with ease. He recalls that atomic radius decreases across a period and increases down a group. Electronegativity increases across a period and decreases down a group. And first ionization energy also increases across a period and decreases down a group. Meanwhile, the other elements struggle to recall the correct order.
Eventually, most manage to get through it, except for Confident, Sulfur, and Carbon. Though they remember the general trends and the placement of the elements, they overlook key exceptions. They miss that beryllium has a higher first ionization than boron because its full 2s subshell offers extra stability. Similar, they fail to recall that nitrogen has a higher ionization energy than oxygen due to the stability of its half-filled 2p sublevel. With sulfur and carbon now facing elimination, nitrogen and carbon team up to sway the vote. Their persuasion work, sulfur is voted out.
Only 5 contestants remain: carbon, nitrogen, beryllium, oxygen, and aluminum. The hidden alliance between carbon and nitrogen has been running the game, quietly steering votes and dominating challenges. Beryllium continues to keep a low profile, flying under the radar. Oxygen keeps stepping up when it matters the most. Meanwhile, aluminum is trying to assert control and become the dominant player. Carbon and nitrogen both know how crucial it is for them to win the next challenge. But this time, the game throws its toughest twist yet.
The challenge is called Don't Break the Buffer. Each contestant must carefully add drops of a weak base to a strong acid solution in an attempt to raise the pH without breaking the buffer system. The goal is to raise the pH the most without exceeding the buffer capacity, but this challenge proves to be nearly impossible. One by one, each contestant overshoots the buffer capacity. The pH suddenly jumps, signaling a broken buffer system. No one is safe. Every contestant is up for elimination.
The tension is at an all-time high. Sensing a shift in power, beryllium, oxygen, and aluminum grow wary of the tight bond between carbon and nitrogen. In a strategic move, they band together and vote out nitrogen.
The top 4 contestants have made it to the final voting week. Every move now could determine who makes it to the end. This week's challenge offers a single reward of immunity. One contestant will be saved from elimination.
The game is called Polar or Non-Polar. Each contestant must correctly sort a series of compound combinations into one of 2 bins, polar or non-polar. Speed and accuracy are key. Mistakes can cost the 1 million electron prize.
Carbon, laser focused and determined, dominates the challenge. He perfectly recalls the polarity rules with his SNAP acronym, distinguishing between non-polar molecules like CO2 and polar ones like H2O. Carbon secures victory and a guaranteed spot in the final 3.
Now, the vote comes down to oxygen, beryllium, and aluminum.
Oxygen finds himself at a crossroads. Beryllium has played a sharp, calculated game, quiet but consistent. Aluminum, in contrast, has been forceful and strategic, trying to seize control of the game. Oxygen reasons that beryllium's quiet nature might make him easier to outmaneuver in the final 3.
Oxygen and beryllium both vote for aluminum, sending the metallic powerhouse home. Now, the final 3 are set: carbon, oxygen, and beryllium.
The next challenge is the toughest yet. The remaining elements must complete something they've never done before. Build a fully functioning iodine clock reaction from scratch. Who will the clock run out on? The pressure is immense. Precise timing, correct concentrations, and careful handling are crucial. One mistake and the reaction fails, or worse, never starts. The lab is silent but tense as the elements work tirelessly. For hours, they mix starch solutions, measure out potassium iodide, hydrogen peroxide, and sulfuric acid, trying to trigger that unmistakable blue-black color at just the right moment. None of them have ever completed a full lab alone before. Then at last, a reaction shifts. Oxygen's clock ticks. A deep blue hue fills the beaker, controlled, precise, and perfectly timed. The room falls silent in awe, but Oxygen doesn't just finish the reaction, he cleans up his workstation meticulously, showing full mastery of both the chemistry and the lab processing.
Now comes the final twist. Oxygen must choose one element to join him in the final vote, where the previously eliminated contestants will return as the jury to decide the winner of Elemental Survivor. It's a difficult decision, or at least it seems to be. Sensing an easy victory, Oxygen chooses Beryllium, the quiet underdog, to join him in the finals. But in this game, nothing is guaranteed. The iodine clock may have stopped, but the real countdown has just begun. It all comes down to this.
The final showdown pits Oxygen and Beryllium against each other in one last battle, not of strength or silence, but of words. Before the jury of eliminated elements, they must each make their case for why they deserve to be crowned the winner of Elemental Survivor. Oxygen goes first. He stands tall, his presence commanding. I fueled the fires that kept us going. From the start, I carried this game. I performed in challenges, I strategized, and I made the moves that mattered. And when others needed help, I gave it. Beryllium is only here because I saved him more than once. I wasn't just surviving, I was leading.
Then it's Beryllium's turn. Quietly, confidently, he steps forward. I know I wasn't the loudest. I didn't make speeches or big plays, at least not in the open. But I was always thinking, always moving pieces. I played the long game. I adapted, I endured. I got here by outwitting and outlasting stronger players. Don't give the title to the one who always shines. Give it to the one who fought from the shadows.
As the jury casts their votes, a few smile warmly at Beryllium, and his hopes rise. Could the underdog really win this?
The host reads the votes, one by one. Oxygen.
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 It's unanimous. Oxygen is crowned the winner of Elemental Survivor.
The others erupt in applause, and Beryllium forces a respectful smile, though the disappointment flickers in his eyes. Oxygen steps forward, triumphant, an element essential to life, now also the Elemental Survivor champion.